to 6. Any changes or additions or a motion for approval?
Motion to approve.
Okay, there's a motion.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Want to thank the media for being here today, and how would you like to introduce our visitor?
If we could jump down to new business number 1. To set this up a little bit, Denny Harlan, which is our HR, when he came to the city, his thing was big on leadership. He's designed a bunch of leadership courses. We were sitting talking one day, and of course, he said, not you, Hal, but he said, we got great department heads, and they need to start training somebody for their replacements. And I thought, yeah, that does affect me. For 17 years, it's been me calling all the shots and coming back in the evenings and stuff. And okay, that's what I signed up for. But all of a sudden, I thought, I shot too. I'm kind of getting up in age. I would like to introduce Howard Kistler. He is my new supervisor and taking over a lot of the ranks. Howie, this is, of course, press and everybody, but I want to introduce. I just asked him, I wanted him to come so you could see a face. That's why I wanted to go first so we can get out of here. We've adjusted his pay and everything, done it. He actually, when him and I got together to do this, was October? I believe so. When I asked him if he was interested, and he said he was, and he's a great guy. He was with Akron Vault for many years. I've been in the vault business, so he knows the business really well. His downfall is these little machines right here, and that's okay. And his words was, I had to learn to dig. So he'll learn it. I've seen him on his phone a little bit more. He's starting to do stuff, and he's getting there. But I couldn't start it till the first year of paint everything. He took over in October and got the guys. To tell you how well it's going for me, I've of course had to lose a little control, and that's totally fine. He's doing great. We did evaluations, and how I do evaluations is I have our employees do self-evaluations, and then usually I do them, and then we get together. This year I had him do that, and Howard did the evaluations, and then the three of us. And it was, I would say, very positive. It was very, very positive. They've seen some change they like. They have somebody on the grounds, because I get torn to go different ways, and they've got somebody they can call to right away. So it's like I always said, when we have problems, I call it dissension in a playpen. Usually it starts like this big, and they don't get to me, and they stew about it, and it's this big. Well, he's keeping it down to this big right now. He's doing a great job for me. We're learning together how he wanted to do it. I think we're getting there. We'll probably tweak it, but we've got a very open relationship. The guys are kind of intense. He can answer if you want to talk to him a little bit, but where they're like, well, I'll tell Howie, I got to tell Hal. They're trying to figure out how to get it. But it's okay. We get it together. We're getting it good, getting where they're telling both of us. So I just want to introduce him to you and tell you he's doing a great job for me, and I'm excited about it. And we're just gonna get into this year, and then we're gonna start getting into the stuff and the budgets and different stuff, so he can get going on it. And the whole deal here, I believe, in my sanctified eyes, is so if I would retire sometime, I can go to the mayor and say, even though I'm appointed, say, hey, I have a guy ready if you choose to hire him. I mean, it's totally up to him, but there's somebody that with feet on the ground that can do it, and I believe he'd be great at it. So, thank you, Howie. Just wanted to make sure they all know and got to see you, so I asked him to stay a little late today because they usually get off at 3:30, so he did. So,
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're welcome to go, whatever you want to do. I just like to say, now they have a face when I talk mean about you at the meetings.
He's the supervisor or the assistant?
We would classify him as a supervisor. He's basically my assistant, being my right hand, however you want to put it.
Well, I have assistant
And yours?
in my notes.
That's fine. That's fine. You can, the title, you can, whatever. Okay.
I like those big titles.
Yeah, I'm not a big one. He's my right hand and go-to. So yeah, and it's working. Howie helped me. You're on your 7th year, sixth year with me. Okay, I was 6 or 7. I didn't look that up. I'm sorry. But like him and I've been together for 18 years. Yeah, because he was the vault guy a lot of times that came with Akron and stuff, so we've known each other for a long, long time, so he's been a great fit. I catch him in the passenger side of the light, I said, look, this guy isn't your chauffeur, dude. And so he was driving today, so. They ride in teams, so it is what it was, so thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm very happy to have him, so I just wanted to make sure, so we put a face with him, so we were gonna do this a few months ago and just didn't work out,
Okay.
so.
Good.
With that, we can continue on, and like I say, you're free whenever you wanna go. Excuse me. We'll go to unfinished business. As you can see, the wood giveaway, I'm sorry we don't have the total. There wasn't as much this year as in past. A lot of I call our family or friends that come a lot, don't. We still had a few regulars. Did you see new? Not really. It was
No.
mainly the same. I think some of them have either moved on or passed or are not able to get there. Had plenty of wood, still have plenty of wood. Dustin had some backup wood, but so we're okay wood-wise. We'll continue the program. I think it's a very good program. So I'll get you the total next time. There you see number 2, to addition to cremation 3. In my sanctified mind doing this, along with the, we talked about 3 there pricing columbariums or niches for ashes. My first goal was to extend cremation 3 along the fence and put a couple of these niches in. We've kind of changed the program a little bit. We're going to continue 3 with ground burials. So if you know where it's at, by the heart. So basically you'll have Titus Mausoleum, we'll go past Titus and we're going to go down that road for ground burials. Leanna and I was talking and I actually forgot about it, she brought it up again, it was about the old section. I have some property, actually quite a bit in the old section that hasn't been touched for 50 years, which means I can use it. Okay, but not really big enough for full burials. Those lots back in the day were smaller. I mean, we could still do it, but you don't want to put a stone, so I'd have to go like 2 for 1. But people want to be in the old section of woods. Setting these columbariums in the old section would be perfect. So we have a section, I believe it's section 8, back, actually Howie we call him Howie, so if you hear me say that, Howard's his name, but we call him Howie. He was part of it. There was a time where we had a bunch of concrete. Back in the old days, they would kind of concrete their family plots, like, this is ours, and they were falling apart, pieces were going, and Howie and the crew took out a bunch of them. And this one section we took out, we started researching, and a gentleman bought it a long time ago, never anybody in it. And it's perfect. It's inside the lake road, but it looks over the lake. And I'm getting prices on different niches. They haven't got them to me yet, so I don't have pricing for you. But it'd be as simple as we pour concrete, set 2 of these. It's in the woods. I think they'll sell. And then we can do smaller units in their different areas. And then our other idea was, but I worry about mowing a little bit, is going out in the cemetery and taking an 8-foot grid or a 20-foot grid, 8 lots. That would be 16 ground burials and make them. The problem is back row. If we break the back row into 2 and they put stones in, it traps my mowers. So they'd have to spin to get out, which will create ruts. So we're working on that. But so we have several ideas how to do it, because people kind of want to be out in with everybody else instead of in cremation gardens. So we've got several options that will be low cost to us to set up to do, except for these niches. I priced an octagon one, which was 72 niches, and it was 43,000, just so you know. Now, we charge enough money that they'll get paid off eventually, but it's a lot of money up front. I'm now pricing some smaller ones like we have, because the octagon one, which I think was gorgeous, is a 2-door. And they were going to charge me over $20,000 to make them single doors. I don't want 2 doors, because not everybody buys 2. And like in the first niche I have, if somebody buys one and leaves, they have to pay for a whole new front for the other person. Follow me? And it gets kind of expensive. So I want single doors that we have, and so that people can choose whatever monument company they want. So kind of a long story there on that one, but that's something we have to continue because we're running out. We're running out of niches, and I think we talked about end of the year, it was 46% ashes we're seeing. This month, if you look back in the totals, we'll get to in a little bit, it wasn't as bad, but we only did 11 funerals, and it was like 36 but they're definitely on the rise. We're doing a lot of them, and if you watch the obits like we have to, later date, we're gonna get more and more. I think it's a trend that's
It
coming.
is a trend, yeah.
So we have to prepare that we're not wasting land to do this.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what we're doing there. Like I say, I'm sorry I don't have prices on niches. Pat Monument has been giving me quotes. Then I'll have to determine if I have to go into the bid process and go other places, but they were gracious enough to work up some quotes for me just to get an idea of what different ones cost. So I'm looking at double-sided octagon ones, some like 8 units, different stuff that we could set in place and still mow around and not affect us whatsoever, because I don't want to do any groundwork. I want to leave it grass so we can mow, so it's more natural is what we're looking at. We'll go right into 4, which is the burn barrel. The street department is kind of our welders. Damien and his crew are working on one currently. It's kind of a unique box, but anyway, we're not there yet, but I'll tell you more about it. It's definitely in the process. They're starting to weld, and we'll see how it turns out. That will go, if you're looking at the preacher stand on the right-hand side, we'll pull a pad there and put that there for that to be ready for the Legion and the guys to use. I don't think in old business I put in your notes, we had the gentleman here for the honorary remembering. He is still working on that. In fact, he wanted to get a hold of Ken, and I don't know if he...
I'm calling him tomorrow.
Okay, I said you had been a little ill and was in and out, and
Yeah.
and he's trying to do it, which would still be all on him. There'll be no financial on us, but he's trying to run an organization for whatever whatever you have to do for money-wise for tax purposes and different stuff. I forget the exact wording of that. But he's got a big passion for this, and it's okay with us. It's just a matter of us helping place them if they don't have enough volunteers, and then taking them off. So, I mean, it's all purpose, but he's got I think, a really good vision. He's been military and worked in military quite a bit, and he's trying to hook in, like, if you remember him talking, and the other gentleman, if I forget, they sell for like 17 something, and then $5 goes back to whoever is organized, and then they put it into cleaning stones or whatever. Well, he's looking, and he's like, if not, he can go back where Salvation Army will have some money. You know, he's trying to figure all that out, and so we're gonna still do it. I've already filled out all the paperwork from the organization that says we'll accept him. So the ball's still in his court. I didn't get that on here. I wanted to tell you, he's still going on it, right?
Do you plan on talking to him tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I have an appointment on the phone with him tomorrow.
Yeah, he would
And
like,
it's Bob Doc.
Bob Dockery.
yes,
yeah.
Dockery, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yes, and he wants to get together with another gentleman, the 3 of us, and I
Yeah.
said, I'm up for it.
Yeah.
So he's kind of bouncing around trying to get everything figured out right now, so, and get all his classifications and needs. I want to remember that, so. Any questions in old business? I know I talked a little quick. I apologize. I know you want to get out of here, but, okay, so we'll go into new business. 2, spring cleanup. Howie's sitting here, he'll shake his head, it's getting ready to ramp up. See him smile? Yeah, it's kind of busy. We currently, I did put in there, I think it's around 36, I think is on the list for the first pour. Some of those are flush. We've got that to do. We're probably gonna have 50, 60 graves to fix. And then on top of that, we have a lot of sunken areas, and all this rain and stuff we're going. They're starting to kind of work on them now, but it's just the weather hasn't broke enough for us to get going on there. So they're ready. I'm sure they're gonna get tuckered out, but then as soon as they get done with that, then we're off to weed whacking, just so you know. Howie and the group came up also with that is, for years, all our sod we've cut by hand. Probably my second year in, I rented a sod cutter, and it didn't really work real well. It was one from the rental shop, and with the crew I had, wasn't too good. The guys now asked me about it. We are going to rent one. If not, if it works, I have enough in my budget and my equipment that we probably will be buying one. Some can't believe we still cut by hand, but I think a power one will work, but we just want, Howie and I agreed that we want to rent one and see how it works first.
Sure.
Before we get into purchasing one. With that, 3 is a construction of a 50 by 15 foot lean-to. Rick Timmons and Button Timmons just completed it yesterday, I believe. Yeah, and it was, they did the last inspection on a day, so it is done. Current cost of that was $36,426 to install. I budgeted 50, so we did okay, because material is flying all over the place.
Right.
It's a three-sided metal, exterior, inside just treated. Down the road, once we get started, this is just for attachment equipment that's outside. We want to keep it under roof to keep it clean and new and not rotten and whatever. It's just, they'll last longer under. Someday, they may be drop doors come on it to close it up. No concrete floor. So it actually sits back by the well. So that is currently done. 4 you see there, we have purchased or ordered, we haven't got it yet, a 2025 Gator. We're trading in a 2017 with trade-in, ooh, I'm gonna miss this. I think I'm right, it is 24,000 for the Gator. This is a little bigger, beefier Gator than what we had before. It's more like a mini truck is what it is.
John Deere?
Yes, John Deere, yes. If we've had real good luck with the Gators. How this started is these guys drive them year round. My 18 has doors on it and has heat. The 17 does not. So I was looking on doors. Well, if you come look at the 18, they're glass doors, and I've already replaced them. Yeah, look at him smile. I've already replaced them twice. They're pretty expensive doors. So I was looking for some more like truck doors, and the guy said, you might as well step up. The price you're going to pay for the cab, you might as well step up to this one. So, like I say, it's just a little more deluxe, a little nicer vehicle. So that, I'm not sure when it's coming. I know it's on order, but he hasn't told me yet. 5, we already talked about the extension of cremation 3, which is definitely going to happen. 6, Dairy Electric have been out. They did come out, saw what I want. I haven't received the quote, and that is for the conduit running from the chapel parking lot, or the back fence to be the west fence, that's going to run to the flags at Legion 3. So we can light those up and get power over if we do the Max, I want to say pond, but the sanctuary, whatever,
Yeah,
be the
yeah,
river
yeah.
pond,
Yeah.
which we got to get your hole dug this year. We did make it last year. We'll get a hole dug this year to do that. So I want to get that over the power, and then probably I'm going to call wastewater electricians to come and help me with that, to get power in there and make sure we have plenty to do that. Other than that, we had a small, I think the board needs to know, we had a little small incident that we actually, I got taken care of this morning. It started probably a week or so ago. Had a lady, she had buried her husband in 2014. She has moved away, evidently is disconnected with her family, and a gentleman who spoke for her, but I got her permission. She wanted to donate her lot to the city of Warsaw. She wanted they had a bench, her name off the stone taken off, and we could have the bench if it was savable. We had it, according to the letter we got, we had to get rid of anything to do with pictures or anything of her name, which we abided by. We took off the bench. Pat Monument said I wouldn't get it apart, but with Howie's help, we got it apart, saved the bottom part of the bench. So the names were written up on the top back piece. That was all fine. The pad was there. We had taken off. The family of the husband that passed away found out about it yesterday, and my phone went off. And then this morning, the son, the sister. Quite ugly. It's a bad situation for them, nothing on us. So they're calling upset, and we're trying to figure out, and I'm trying to be as legal as I can and read what I have and what I'm gonna do, and I was gonna get Scott Roost involved, but I didn't feel I have to. She gave us the deed of both lots. I have all the notarized letters of what she wanted done, okay, and everything. Well, the family wants to honor him, okay? Technically, it's sad to say, but that body is like this, somebody owns that, and that would be that wife, okay? So with her still being alive, she really dictates, but she has sacrificed everything and said, I don't want anything to do with it. So basically, I'm gonna allow a stone for the husband. The family wants to do that. They actually want to take the bench and put a new lid and do a stone for him. This bench was around $8,000, just so you know. Yeah, it wasn't a cheap bench, it was a bench. So now the lot was next to him was donated to us, which, okay, it's been paid for. Normally we would use it for welfare. I decided to kind of help the family a little bit. He had 3 children. I donated it to the 3 children. They have come and signed a paper, we'll deed it, that's you signed it, and if you looked at the top, there's 0 value. They can't sell it to make money. They all have come in and signed a letter that we've made up of what's going on, what's gonna happen, that they're in control of that, so they can use it to be my dad. And the sister was very, well, they've all been in tears, but they're very happy about that. So they're deciding, in this thing, they've signed off of which one will hold the deed, which is kind of cool because they're going to have the aunt hold the deed, but anyway. But they're all 3, and those 3 kids can use and be buried in there. One can be full body, the other 2 can be ashes. Or actually, they can have, between the 2, there's 8 ashes there that can happen in one full body. I figured that was the best way. There's no cost on us.
Right.
It was donated to us. So just kind of the situation, and they have no communication with her or whatever, right? And they want to be next to dad. Yeah, it's some of the ugly stuff we get into.
Please tell me that she's not the mother to the children.
She is to 2 of them, yes.
Oh,
Yes.
how can you do that to your children?
Yeah. But there was a boy, which is the oldest, that was his. I mean, they all lived together, but anyway, but that deed and everything we have signed is to all 3 of them. They actually came, I told them there's no hurry. They actually, all 3 came in and completed the signatures and everything today. They wanted to get the stone. They said they need this done first. So we have everything on record and it'll be in the file. I don't think we'll have any more complaints. There won't be any, you know, I was waiting for, we're gonna sue because you get involved, they think we've done it, and not. Patton is aware of it. One of the workers at Patton Mining was friends with the gentleman, the deceased, and the son said that's where we wanna go, so I made them aware that it's totally okay. So what they're deciding is the foundations between the 2. If they use the bench, they can put it there, all the names will not go on that bench, I don't think. So if they want to move it over for him, I will tear out the foundation for free, but they'll have to pay for a new one. And they all know that, it's all in this letter. So that would be the only expense to them except reconditioning that bench. We have the rest of the bench that's all together back at the shop that Patton will come and get if that's the case. So it was kind of an ugly, it still is kind of an ugly thing, but we kind of solved it. To the point where the family is very appreciative of what's going on, and the husband be honored. The sister was worried about him have something out there. I just made a tent for him. It's drying right now, and I'll put it out tomorrow. So he will be identified for a while until they figure out what's going on. So I just wanted to make you aware of something I solved. I didn't get Scott involved. I didn't think by everything I read and what I had, she basically sacrificed everything back and wants nothing to do with anything, no name, no nothing.
Wow.
I mean, she's at the point where in this, we have it, she has changed her name. So it's all changed, and which we can't give out that to them, but they already know, which is kind of weird. We haven't talked to Amy about that or where she's at, and that's them to go. But I just wanted my board to understand we had to take care of that this morning and what we had to do and how we did it. It kind of went quick, and that was the first few hours of the morning, and I kept rereading, and I'm going, do I need to? I need to, but I thought, no, this is the best way to solve this, in my opinion, because it was bought by her, paid by her, you know, with their money, dad and hers money, and might as well be in that family. So with that, and I'm sorry I talked probably too fast, but we can get out of here early, hopefully. I have nothing else, Mr. President, unless you have questions for me or the press.
Any other questions?
Nope. Nope.
No,
No?
thank you. I don't think,
So come out and make sure Howie's doing his job if I'm not around.
You're gonna track your name.
So you know also, and I should have filled in more, this is more meet and greet, we'll talk later. With Howie, of course, his wage went up, okay? He is getting cell phone allowance, because that's how we communicate. Down the road, we'll see about vehicle, because he'll be expected, if I'm not around, if I'm gone or something, we have to be on call 24/7. Knock on wood, it doesn't happen very often. So we've talked about the truck, we're kind of waiting right now first, but I wanted him to get that cell phone allowance because he's using his personal phone. We communicate back and forth, so just to know where that's at. Okay, cool. All right, that's all I have.
Okay, no other business. Meeting adjourned then, thank you.
All right, thank you,
Hold
gentlemen.
the third.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
You see here.
Oh, dear.
You can walk up there and do it, you just push it.
She have trouble?
He keeps, I got a neighbor here keeping an eye on me. I
Well,
gotta
that's
stay
good.
out of trouble.
That's good, that's good.
I was pretty excited, I guess, Joyce